Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to become very clear with this practice. And especially that you have to remember yourself. It is very important again and again you brush up your own mind regarding the meditation you practice, rather than becoming attached to your own thoughts or your own pattern, or maybe sometimes we become so comfortable with our sitting, and then we forget the very meaning of the practice. So our purpose should be to purify our own mind from our own defilement, from our own cankers, mental formations, unwholesome actions. So when it comes to that, the very ordinary mind, it's always go here and there. And so the meditation will help us to calm down a little bit and have this undisturbed mind. With that, we are capable to see our own thoughts. So this is a process that we have to work with our own mind. To work with our mind, first we have to see it. That's why we come to practice meditation. So by the time, the very result means you start to see your own thoughts. And once you are capable to see it, you are capable to handle it. Once you can handle your own thought, you are capable to handle that the outcome going to happen out of your own bodily, verbally, mentally actions. And then that is where you can come to the very end of this process. Because epicenter of this whole journey, this whole calamities, the epicenter of the samsara is deeper, the intention that you carry within your own mind. But getting to that, not easy. There are many layers we have to purify. There are many layers we have to pass. So there was some monk practice in a cave. So by the time what happened, he used to draw a picture, a tiger, life-size tiger. He used to be an artist, and now he has more time, and mind is so calm. When he's resting time, he start to draw this tiger. So it became so perfect. And then the way, the day he put the eyes to this tiger, what happens? It really looked like a real tiger. And then he drew the eyes, and he put the eyes and little bit move backward to see how it is. What happened? He ran away out of the cave, thinking it is a real tiger. So when you hear this, you may think, what an idiot, or what a foolish monk. But when it comes to our day-to-day life, we do the same. And we draw something always inside our mind with our mental formations, with our sanskara, with our thoughts, with our memory. We draw the pictures. And out of that pictures, we think it's kind of like real. And then what happens? Sometimes we get attached to it. And sometimes we get afraid about it. We try to run away from it. Sometimes we get disappointed, unhappy, sad, worry. Out of what? Out of our own this inner picture. So it is not easy for us to recognize it is a picture that we build up inside us with our own memory, with our own thoughts. So practicing meditation allows you to little bit calm down in the moment. So once you settle down in the moment, you are capable to experience the very moment of sensation. So the sensation is feelings, it's kind of like something ignite. The feeling that when you observe the feelings or the sensation, you can't exactly access to that. Observing feeling means when you feel that, it start to indicate something. So recognizing that what is that indication is the practice meditation. Or otherwise, not just imagine there is a sensation, oh, sensation. No, not about that. So whatever the sensation arises, it kind of like giving a message to you. To see that message, you have to withdraw from the self-centered mind. Why? Because when the sensation arises, we jump to it. This is me. I feel this. So like that. So what happened in our mind also with the thoughts. So whatever the thoughts generates in us, we start to jump into it, thinking this is me, I am. So in that picture, then we get lost. That's it can be our imagination. And then what happens? Again and again, again and again, we try to develop it. Even though we need thoughts, we have to think to survive. We need the thoughts to make our life more better. But if you look very carefully, most of the time, we have, rather than profitable thoughts, clear thoughts, most of the time we have unprofitable, unclear thoughts. And that is the thing, that's why practicing meditation will help you to see this and make it, even if you have thoughts, rather than jumping, running away from it, believing that thoughts are real, maybe you are capable to recognize it's your thoughts, and maybe by the time you are capable to bring more profitable, wholesome actions out of maintaining very clear thoughts. So that's a process that we have to develop. So one thing you have to remember, so sometimes when we caught up in this story or the thoughts or our imagination itself, when we take as reality, what happens? We are not capable to experience around us as it is, or very clearly itself. So then always remember the very purpose of meditation. Even you reach to a high mental powers, rather than mesmerizing through your experience, rather than mesmerizing through your imagination, rather than getting afraid and have the fear regarding your own thoughts, rather than getting unbalanced out of your own picture that you draw, it brings a balance and allow you to recognize these old thoughts. So then remember the very, where we heading, that to see our thoughts, because once you see thoughts, you're good. So once you see thoughts, then what you have to do, because there are unwholesome thoughts happens, unnecessary thoughts happen. So then now your mind so clear, and so you see your thoughts. So then what happens? If it is unclear, that it unwholesome thought, if it is an unprofitable thought, if that thoughts come from the greed, hatred, and the delusion, so right away, the very first action you should take, it's not the first, one action you should take, bring the very opposite side of thoughts and replace. Like as example, if there is a greed, you bring the generosity. Anger, you bring the loving kindness. So in the very surface level, you can work with that, but if you are capable to see the thoughts, if you recognize it, maybe not while you are practicing meditation, when you are doing something else, once you hear this, you know that, because once you start to experience the unbalance inside you, you are capable to see your thoughts. So then remember, the one technique that you can do, right away replace the very antidote for the greed, hatred, and the delusion, loving kindness, compassion, generosity, wisdom, that kind of thought. So bring it. So now you are the one who taking actions. You are the one who taking actions according to whatever you experience. Not something that from outside, you are not waiting for something. You don't kind of like dreaming about something. You are not praying for something. No, you see This is the greed. Right away, you bring the generosity. This is anger. You bring the compassion and loving kindness. So if you keep working a little bit, and maybe still this thought keep coming, the same thought keep coming. And just imagine the anger. It didn't listen to the loving kindness. It didn't listen to the compassion. Still, the anger is keep coming. So now still you see the thoughts. So then the very next step that you can take, start to see the danger. If you keep going with this anger, maybe where it try to take you. Because remember, there is the very nature of your conscious mind, it's always try to make you balance. The very nature of this world, the samsara, or this very nature of the mental formations, the cankers, it always try to make you unbalanced. It always try to take you away from the awareness. So these two natures you have to understand. It's already within you. It's already in your DNA. It's not just one thing. You can calm down the body. You can come to the relax and comfort. You can come to the awareness. But at the same time, there is another nature in you. You can completely destroy everything and you can get into the very dark mood. So then, it is your conscious decision. What I want. Do I want to go into the darkness because of something? Do I want to experience this unhappiness because of something? Your conscious decision, not somebody else. If it is you, if you say yes, go for it. Go for it until you get tired. Go for it. Pain, go for the pain. Sometimes you think it's okay. I can handle the pain. Go for it. And maybe birth by birth, you keep going through that, and one day you come to end. But you have to see it. If you are capable to see it, and then from there, the very next step going to change. So the second step, now you see the thoughts. First, you try to bring the opposite side of the thoughts. If it didn't work, now you see the danger, where it heading, where it try to take me, what I going to experience if I going to be like this. And then you will see that. And maybe then the thoughts going to reduce the power of it. And maybe the thought start to slowly go away. But if it is still keep coming, even it doesn't matter, I go to the prison, it doesn't matter that whatever the suffering come to me, it's still this keep coming. Go for it. Go for it. Why these things come like that way? And maybe they in the past we used to do these things. We used to go with this all the barriers. We didn't replace the thoughts. We didn't see the danger. So that's why it's not listening to that things, because it's not used to. And it keep coming, keep coming. Then you can see how strong your thoughts are. Keep coming. And then the third step, you can avoid it. Not to go into it and react to it, see the danger, you avoid it. Avoiding is a kind of like a deep technique. You have to master it so much, because sometimes the avoiding, that's why first thing is you have to see the thought exactly to avoid the thoughts. Most of the time we try to do it without seeing the thoughts. Most of the time what we does, that's why we fail mostly. What we does, we try to cross the bridge before we come to it. So here you can't do that. Now you see the thoughts, you try to replace, you recognize it, you try to replace something, it didn't work. You see the danger, it didn't work. And then you try to avoid it. So what is this avoiding means? Because this reflective nature, this habitual pattern inside us. So habit is a kind of like a frequency in your brain you tune to your history. So it is so strong. So avoiding means you don't allow this frequency to connect to your system. And ignoring means you see it, but you don't go into reflect on it. Let go. You take a very conscious decision. It is very hard. It's kind of like, these muscles, try to, get out of your body, get out. It's kind of like a muscles and bone try to separate each other. It's kind of like these joints start to, separate. It's very painful. Avoiding, letting go. It's not easy. That's why, unless you see the thoughts, you can't do this. So, like in martial art, like sword practice, and like when you depend on something, and when you're avoiding something, like especially when it comes to the sword, you don't jump away before the sword comes to you. So you keep the undisturbed mind. When it comes very closer to you, then you move. Otherwise, the opponent have another chance to cut you. So avoiding means you don't give that chance. So even the punch, you avoid when the punch exactly come close, you smell the punch, then you move, because then there's no counter attack can make by the opponent. Otherwise, that he get back to his position. But avoiding is a technique, deep technique. It is not easy for you. Avoiding your thoughts not easy. So that's why it's the third position. Replacing is easy. And see the danger is easy. But it is still possible. How? You have to train. How you avoid the punch? You train the punch, and then you see it. Then you don't afraid. Anymore you don't have the fear. So that's why you can wait till it come to very close to your face. And then you move, and then it's go away. But otherwise, no. So sword the same, you don't afraid anymore. You master cutting, and then you can wait till the sword come here, close to here. The most of time when the sword is there, you run. No. Avoiding is the art. So that's why you need to come closer to the thought, but you don't react to it. You go. Just imagine it's like this, avoiding. It's a very beautiful technique you can practice, and through this all the martial art, and that is something that you practice. So it's like this. You have desire to drink tea, and then you decide you're not going to drink anything. Just imagine you're not going to drink, but now it keep coming. So you try to replace it with the water, it didn't work. And then maybe you see the danger, and then you kind of like, you think, if I do this again, that my commitment going to break. And so kind of like that, you try to convince yourself not to do it, but still it's avoiding is this. You make the tea and it's there already, and you come take it very close to your lips, and even a little bit is there, come closer to the lip, and then you decide you're not going to do it. That is where you can do that. But if the tea is there and you try to tell, I'm not going to drink the tea, I'm not going to drink the tea. So it's not a kind of like avoiding. It's a kind of like a resistance. That resistance is a kind of like you make the temptation about the tea become more hard. But avoiding it not going to be hard. It become weaker because you come closer, 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 and then you decide, I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen then. There are many beautiful stories in the history with the monks. And in the last moment, they came to break all the rules. But at the very last second, they decide, I'm not going to do this. There are some beautiful movies sometimes. At the last moment, you decide you're not going to do it. One of the movies, American Beauty. So this is avoiding. This is the power that you build up. You build up. You're not going to do that. So then remember, the avoiding is not, it is far away, you run away from here. No? So this is here, we see the thought. Without seeing, you can't avoid. The most of time we try to do that in the conventional life. That's why we fail. But here you have to understand the difference. In the tranquility level, we calm down, we relax, our mind is so clear to see the thoughts without any judgment. And when you see the thoughts, you don't see it with the kind of like a very dusty mind. Now, no, your mind is very clear. There's no any temptation to think it as you. You see, you are capable to separate the thoughts and your awareness. So in the very first level, that's why you need this tranquility state. So the first one, replacing. Third one, second one, see the danger. Third one, avoiding. Still, it didn't work. Then you recognize you can't avoid this. You can't ignore this. You can't let go this. Still keep coming. The desire rising in you. It's like a wildfire. It's go everywhere. But still you can, now you are the fourth stage. What you can do? You, rather than go with it, still you have a chance. You go deeper into see from where this comes. This is one of the beautiful things that you can see about your own life and about your own mind and about your own thoughts. Why? Because most of the thoughts, that whatever on the surface level, that what you see, maybe the depth of that thoughts is something else. You think, I want this. But deeply, when you go to the depth, you recognize that I want this is coming from something else. So in day-to-day life, in your conventional life, that the most of things that you keep doing for many reasons sometimes, and still maybe you don't know why you keep doing. On the surface level, for the face value, you think, oh, I do this for this, even just for when it comes to meditation. You think why you practice meditation. But when you go deeper into your thoughts, you recognize there's something else. And you want to go and buy something. and ask yourself why you want to go buy this. And maybe suddenly you have a very quick answer for that. I want this for that, this. But withdraw a little bit, calm down, go deeper, then you will see there is another reason. So like that, most of time, especially when it comes to our day-to-day life, and with our bodily, verbally, mentally actions, and whatever mostly we want, and deeply, there is another reason. And most of people keep doing things without knowing even why they do this. So like that, when you start to see this thought, what happened in the very first level, you would start to recognize this cause and effect. There are some things, maybe in your childhood, you had it or you miss it, and now you try to recover from something. All this trauma, that all the damage that happened to you through these actions, nowadays you try to balance it. And maybe in your childhood, you used to struggle with something, and now you have opportunity to overcome that struggle. But you are not the same that the child now, but that whatever the struggle that you went through, still the deeper, it's kind of like a sleeping snake inside you, and it can awake. So now you see cause and effect, causation, conditions, cause and conditions, from where this come, why this come. So your mind need to be so sharp, clear to see this. And sometimes that is why you recognize this all come from emptiness. No such a reason for this all. And once you see that, anymore that thought's not going to become powerful. And once you see the cause and effect, cause and conditions, so you recognize why this happens. And that itself will take you away from that thoughts. So like that, there are thoughts people keep doing, eating especially. As you know, when according to your stress level, when according to your anxiety and depression, the things that you eat going to change. When you have the fear, unsatisfaction, what you eat can become different. And when you have the loneliness, the way you react is completely different. And when you deeply have kind of like not enough, kind of like that unsatisfaction, your behavior start to change. So like that, in the surface level nowadays, that whatever you do may be deeper roots that you don't see. But in the fourth level, if you look very carefully, in the very first level, you try to replace your thoughts. It didn't work. You see the danger of that thought. It didn't work. And you try to avoid it. It didn't work. Now you see from where it comes. So that's mean what? You don't go away from it. You have to go into it. Otherwise, how you can see from where it comes? But when you go into it, you don't caught up in that current. If you get caught up in that current, you can't see it. So you are still not belong to that thoughts. Your awareness is separate from it. That's why you can go deeper and see it. You don't mesmerize. You don't get lost with that thoughts. Your awareness so sharp to separate it again and again and again. And that's where you can see. And even it didn't work, if that, even you see now the cause and conditions, even maybe you see this come from the very emptiness, no reason maybe. but still this thought keep coming. So then what you need to do? Not all the thoughts, but there are some thoughts can happen because of the karma, samsaric behavior, and maybe we don't see that in this very lifetime there is a relationship to that thoughts, but still this keep coming. But now you are more conscious, strong, you are capable to change your destination. So you take fully authority to yourself. You are fully responsible to your own life. And once you have that, you are capable to take a very strong, conscious decision. Say no to that thought. That is the beauty. That is where you change your direction, destination. It's kind of like you recognize, in my life, I have done this many times. I am the one who went through this pain, difficulty, sadness, worry, unhappiness, fear. Enough is enough. I am done. That's it. If you come to that level, this thought not going to anymore. Then it recognizes it cannot do anything anymore. Why? Because always your conscious decision is stronger. Remember that. It doesn't matter through the samsaric journey, eons by eons, you used to keep doing something and you had a very strong karmic path. You develop with the repetition of action. That means habitual pattern. It doesn't matter how strong your thoughts, still your consciousness can say very strong decision to say no more. So it's kind of like then say that your habits, your patterns, and the consciousness. So which one you want? That's your life. So you are capable as a human being, moment by moment, moment by moment. You have done in your past life, in this very lifetime, you have done many things. But now you are conscious. You can recognize that all what you have done, where it took you. What are the results? You know that all. Because you went through that whole experience. And then there is a tomorrow for you. Here, now, you can take a very conscious decision. Do you want to repeat it for tomorrow? If it is so, go for it. Who's going to change you? No one going to bother you. Take it, go for it. Enjoy it. If it is suffering, enjoy suffering. But sometimes you think, recognize, this is enough for me. I don't want anymore. So that's why you try to replace that thoughts. That's why you see the danger. That's why you try to avoid that thoughts. That's why you saw the cause and conditions about it. But if it's still there, then maybe that emotional current, or maybe your habitual pattern is so stronger. Take a very conscious decision. That's it. Once you take that very conscious decision, remember, there is nothing in this universe can challenge for that. That much you are strong. So the thing is this, you have that power, you have that opportunity, you are capable to take that things. In the human history, we have seen many enlightened masters and wise people, philosophers, and even in the very conventional level, ordinary people have taken that conscious decision and they change themselves, they change the world sometimes. So you are also capable to change your world, change your own life. That bringing that change by your own conscious decision is the power that you gain out of meditation. And then you are the one who can see what to do. So when the mind becomes more sharp and clear, strong and energetic with that, and once you have the ability to purify your own thoughts by your own conscious decision, you're not going to be the same. Even though in the outside world, you go with these things, inside, you're not going to be the same. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say, Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. So bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe tatta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addhaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyati Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.